What is the Land Registry? The Land Registry, in a nutshell, is a central record for land across England and Wales. It's where people go to register ownership of land. It's commonly used by property professionals, so in the legal sphere, residential property solicitors, and commercial property solicitors. On top of that, there's approximately 26 million titles at Land Registry. So why is the Land Registry so important? So it's commonly used by residential property solicitors and commercial property solicitors. In both instances, they may be looking to buy or sell property. In the instance of purchasing, you will need to review the registered title of the specific property and review it specifically in relation to ownership, rights of way, or any additional obligation or rights impacting the property. Now, this could be quite straightforward if it's a new property which is relatively newly registered. However, it could be quite complex if it's a huge property with lots of interest, some of them going back quite historically. One really good tool is the map search function. So this is a mapping tool which shows titles on a map. So it's very similar to Google Maps in that respect. So from a legal perspective, the lawyer would determine how many titles are involved in that relevant property, and then they would review the registered title to determine ownership and the relevant rights and obligation against those titles. So title documents. So each property will have a registered title, which is basically a document which outlines all the information about that respective piece of property. It will also have a registered plan, which is usually a red line plan showing exactly where it is on a map. The registered title will include information, for example, ownership, so who owns it and how they own it, so most commonly either freehold or leasehold, and will also include information about the rights and obligations attached to that piece of land. So the use of the Land Registry in property law. So commercial property lawyers and residential property lawyers would review map search to see the relevant titles. They will then obtain the relevant titles in relation to that transaction. They will report to the client in relation to what's on the registered titles, and then if anything does impact the transaction, they will negotiate either the sale contract or the lease in relation to that matter. So other points to note when working with the Land Registry. So firstly, it's publicly available, so be careful of the information you put on the register. 2, pending titles. If you look to obtain a registered title, the Land Registry will tell you if there is something pending against that. 3, historic documents. You are able to get older versions of registered titles, so this may be important if you are reporting to the client in relation to historic matters. And lastly, requisitions. So if a lawyer registers a piece of land at Land Registry, the Land Registry will query issues with the application. These are also known as requisitions. These can be quite straightforward in relation to things like pieces of information missing, or it could be more fundamental, for example, if a document was not signed correctly. Watch this space for more exciting content.